Are we live? Oh, we're live. As in, we're filming this live. This is sort of uncut, raw, but when you see this.
Well, hang on a second. This is about spilling the tea, but we don't have any tea.
Oh, we've been too busy today.
We forgot about the tea.
Because it has been.
I want to spill some tea.
So we're, okay.
Flick it around.
So because of our schedules today.
I haven't seen her for about 2 weeks. How are you doing?
It's true. That's what I was just basically about to say. Yeah, I am. I've been filming.
Julie,
I've been filming.
I've almost never seen Julie as excited as she is today. So maybe you can kick off with explaining why that is. But before you do that, we've got so many things to talk about. We've got
without tea.
Without tea.
Sorry.
We've got an update on the beavers. We've got a trip to America.
Yes.
We've got the end of the season. We've got a possible movie being filmed at Mapperton. We can't really talk too much about that. You've got all sorts of things to reveal about your dissertation.
And something that's just happened right now.
Anyway, it's going to be action-packed.
It is action-packed. So, and he's probably going to find out a lot right now as well, because like he was saying, we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
This is literally, I mean, I need to get my calendar out, because this is also when we can like plan things and time we're going to be together. Okay, right, go. You go.
Because I've been filming for my other channel, American Viscountess, and I was at 4 historic houses last week up north. Anyway,
how did that go?
Yeah, so that went really well. So do check out my other channel, American Viscountess. We film high quality productions. I'm filming with at historic houses across the UK and their owners. And we were at Doddington Hall, Carlton Towers, Broughton Sanctuary, and Muncaster Castle. And they all went swimmingly well.
I hear the lights went out in one of them in a dramatic way.
The lights did go out, and you will have to, in a medieval castle, so you will have to wait until that episode comes out. But we filmed it all.
Sounds pretty spooky.
So I've just got back from that, and I arrived at Mapperton today. I barely saw him because I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This has been a dream. Many of you who have been watching our YouTube channel since we started this back in the pandemic know that one of the big projects I've wanted to undertake is the project around the tapestries. And in fact, there are some very much older videos of me looking at the tapestries. I think it was like episode number 10 that I was looking at the tapestries. And when I was filming for my other channel, American Viscountess, I filmed recently, or a year ago, at Blenheim Palace. And I was filming with the head curator there, Kate, and they had just had a lot of their tapestries conserved. It was beautiful. And I asked her where she went. And she said, oh, there's this wonderful woman who lives in Hereford named Emma, and she's done this incredible work for us. So I, got on emailed Emma, and she arrived today and looked at the tapestries here in 2 different rooms. And there are some panel pieces that were just stuck in a drawer. She's arrived today. She spent all day here. That episode is coming soon. So I can't give too much away, but what she has initially discovered, which you just heard about from Emma, because she's over in the next room doing some more measuring, is beyond exciting. But what that means, everybody, is that I am about to embark on a big restoration of conservation of the tapestries. Many of you have asked if I'll be doing another fundraiser for this. The answer is yes. Probably it won't start until really the new year in January. I have some exciting things on Buy Me a Coffee for that. But if you are interested in being the first to know about when the fundraising for the tapestries will start, I've just put a link down below that you can enter in your email address, and that will only be emailed to you information about the tapestries. So do check that out. But it is my dream come true. You know it is.
So if you're interested, you can go to the link below and you put your name in. Are people going to get their name kind of woven into the bottom corner? That would be quite cool.
I can't say. No? I can't say what's going to happen, but your name will be known for if you help with the restoration of these tapestries. It's beyond exciting what I'm planning for Buy Me a Coffee.
Now, I think I might have mentioned this before, but one of my worries with Julie's enormous enthusiasm and energy and excitement about the tapestries is that she gets ahead of me on restoration projects, because I have a new nature restoration project that I'm planning to get underway. So yesterday we had a visit from an extraordinary individual whose name is Derek Gow. Derek Gow is a one-man rewilding machine. He has been responsible for more animal reintroductions in the UK than almost anybody else. In particular, beavers, but also water voles. He's got lynx.
Yes.
Not that we've been able to reintroduce lynx.
He's written a couple great books.
He's written some fantastic books. But anyway, he came here yesterday to look at our beaver enclosure. Now, those of you who've been watching recently will know, A, that our beavers, alas, have escaped from the enclosure, and B, that the enclosure needs a lot of work to restore it. And we started doing that work, and we will have an update on that. We've had to rebuild the banks, which have all collapsed. And it's only once we've done that we're going to be allowed to get new beavers back. So Derek was looking at the site and giving us advice on other things that he wants us to do. In particular, get out an enormous chainsaw, bring down some of the trees that the beavers were starting to eat, and use those logs to slow the water in the river at the bottom.
Right.
Because the problem has been so much water going down quickly, breaking the grill, and the beavers escaping. So we've got that to do, but the most interesting part of it was talking to Derek about what animals he thought we should reintroduce to Mapperton next. What? And the answer is...
Can I guess? Because I'm going to guess.
Okay.
Lynx.
No, you can't introduce lynx.
Oh.
Lynx need hundreds of square miles of territory. So lynx is a massive kind of Scotland-sized.
I know. I didn't
project.
know they needed.
No,
okay.
no. Well, we could have lynx in a cage, but I don't. That wouldn't really be in the spirit of things. The answer to that is white stork.
Oh yes.
So we are looking at a white stork reintroduction project at Mapperton. Storks are so charismatic. They haven't been here for I think 300 years
Storks
or so.
haven't been here for 300 years.
Yeah,
wow.
but they have been reintroduced at Knepp in Sussex, and we've been to see them quite recently, and they're just the most magnificent animals. And I grew up reading a children's book called Noggin the Nog. Has anyone read Noggin the Nog? Anyway, one of the books was all about storks sitting on the roofs of castles and causing an enormous amount of smoke to dissipate in the castle.
I have to say, you say it very British. I had to, for 1 second, what animal you were referring to. Because I would say storks, and you say...
Stork.
There you go.
As in beanstalk. No, just kidding.
Okay, yeah.
So that was confusing for you. Anyway, I'm hoping to get going with this project. We're going to do a feasibility study, first of all, to prove that our landscape is suitable. That's going to look at things like food sources. It's going to look at other areas that have brought stork back. There's nobody near us that have done that. So it's a really exciting potential project. I mean,
I'm catching up as well. I didn't know any of that.
Maybe I learned an interesting fact, which is that storks were persecuted in the 1600s, 17th century, because they were thought to be a republican symbol. So after the restoration of the monarchy, after Cromwell died and Charles II came back.
And your ancestor brought Charles II back.
Storks were hunted down because they were an emblem
of the Cromwellian...
of the Republican, the very short-lived Republican era. So,
oh my goodness.
So what that makes me wonder, I mean, we're not a republic here, obviously, these days, but maybe we could have a little stork motif in the tapestry. No, probably not.
Probably not.
Oh, well.
No.
I thought I'd try.
No. No, we're going to leave it as is. Okay, that is exciting. And by the way, I was just updated about this right now because, again, we haven't seen each other for about 2 weeks.
Well, exactly. When we were literally spilling the beans, as I say, to each other.
To each other.
Because we haven't updated each other.
Yeah.
So this is the only opportunity we get.
No, so I'm gonna up you again on a restoration, which you probably don't.
Not another restoration.
No, I'm not. I finished one.
Okay.
So. About, I don't even know, well, it must have been right before the coronation, May 2023, before the coronation of King Charles III, we found your ancestors' coronation robes in that trunk in front of me. And the Royal School of Needlework, which is based at Hampton Court Palace, has been diligently stabilizing them and doing some repair work as well.
So this is a completed restoration project for you.
So I just want to say a huge thank you, because so many of you donated on Buy Me a Coffee for the restoration, conservation really, of the Earl of Sandwich coronation robe, the waistcoat, and the 2 coronets, one for the Earl and one for the Countess. And they are beautiful. They are I was at Hampton Court Palace yesterday. They're in the back of the car, so we do need to bring them in. And we will be, I filmed all that for you, so that will be an upcoming episode as well. But they're back. That is a restoration project complete.
Hooray.
So it's very exciting.
I should give an update on the duck pond. So you'll all recall the sad demise of Quackers, and then the fantastic support that people have shown for the wildlife pond that we're going to create in memory of Quackers. I've got a meeting next week with somebody who can help with the pond construction, and so we might be able to film a bit of that. But it's starting to take shape. Whether the timing is right, because this time of year it's starting to get wetter and wetter. We've just had our first major storm.
Yeah, major.
So whether we can actually build the thing this season or whether we'll have to wait for the spring is an open question. But we're starting the planning for that. Now, I'll tell you something though, which is...
You found the spot too, didn't you?
Well, we had, yeah. So people were voting on the last episode, and indeed the best spot is option B. It's down the bottom of the garden.
Yeah. So that's the approved spot.
Do you know what I also had though?
Is that the approved spot? Option B.
Well, it's not completely approved because we've got to look at it with the pond person.
Okay.
But we also had the local paper getting in touch, and they sent a message saying we want to run an article on why you're not putting in the Quackers Memorial Pond yourselves.
Like and why we're not digging it out?
And why are you getting support from other people? And so what I explained is that at Mapperton, we are incredibly fortunate to have so many supporters. And one of the ways that we do things differently from other historic houses is we get your support in return for all of the wonderful films that we make, in return for all of the public access that we provide to Mapperton. And it's always optional. Nobody has to support these projects. We're delighted when they do, and people who do support these projects tend to be delighted as well because they're part of this important both heritage restoration but also nature restoration story.
So we just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's donated to that as well. And I think I personally like doing these types of, sort of GoFundMe, Buy Me a Coffees, because it gets community involved and it gets your sort of heart in it as well. And I think it's
more than
lovely.
that, these are things that just simply wouldn't happen because this place doesn't generate enough income to support these restoration projects. So these are things that won't happen otherwise.
Right.
Anyway, as Julie says, we're hugely grateful to everybody who supports. And guess what? We've got people coming to stay this weekend.
Yes.
We've got our second grand historic tour, and we are really looking forward to our guests' arrival this Sunday. They're going to be with us for 5 magical days. We've just been
5 nights, 6 days.
And days, 6 days.
Yep.
We've just been putting the finishing touches on the menus. I got the piano tuned on Friday.
I'm going out into the gardens, and I will film it. I'll be picking flowers and putting them in all the bedrooms. And we did a lot last year because last year was our inaugural first one. So we rearranged this room, we rearranged the space in the drawing room. I mean, we really went for it. And this year... And
do you remember, we finished the last bathroom literally 2 days before the guests arrived.
The chapel room bathroom.
It was a close thing, but we did it.
Yes. And so this year it hasn't felt as, I guess, high temperature, pressure as it did last year, which is nice because we did it all last year, and
we also had people coming to stay for the Eagles tour. So earlier this year we did a smaller version of the same thing. So we're so
excited, and I'm obviously very excited to have some, because I think they're all coming from America. Is that right?
They are all coming from America.
Thank you, fellow countrymen. Can't wait for you to come and hear the American accent sitting right here in this hall. And speaking of America, we are going to America.
Well, Julie, amazingly, has been invited because she has such an international reputation now to give a talk in Alabama. We won't give you the details of it today, but
can't give details yet.
It's to a historical society, and it's the end of March next year.
2025.
And it means that we are coming over. We haven't been to the States for ages. We miss it enormously. This is a great opportunity for us to do that, and we'll give you more details later on.
But we'll both be, we will both be speaking in front of an audience of about 500 people. I can give a little bit of that, and then there's a welcome lunch for us the day before. So it's quite, it's exciting. So, and we'll be speaking on, we'll be touching on what we're doing here at Mapperton. We'll be touching on our YouTube channel and how we've created something that a lot of historic houses or any haven't. And then also I'll be, of course, touching on Alberta, your great-grandmother, the American heiress, the breaking the mold.
We might even be bringing her back to life in front of the crowd. What do you think?
Speaking of which, Alberta, breaking the mold, I think that is possibly right now, that's the working title for my dissertation, the unknown American heiress. And I am pleased to say that I am so close, everybody.
Are you finished? Well, I thought you were supposed to be finished by the end of September.
Yeah. So I'm finished. I just haven't submitted. So I've finished. And right now I'm just working on the footnotes, getting them perfect, and the bibliography. And through University of Buckingham, which is where I'm doing my master's in country house studies, we use the MHRA style. So that's been quite tedious. And then it's just a little bit of refining. But I suspect I should be submitting in the next, week or so. And that will be a huge relief.
That will be an enormous relief. I mean, Julie has been tapping away it's part of the reason that we don't catch up, because she's on her computer.
I'm working on my dissertation.
We get in the car, which is normally a time when we get to speak, but we don't speak anymore because she's on her computer. Yeah. Somehow you don't get car sick. I don't know how you've managed that.
I don't know. I think because I'm so focused on my dissertation. So I will be able to reveal what research I am bringing to light. Some new, obviously, new details, new research around the American heiress. And what I will say about that really quickly is that you've got popular readerships like Husband Hunters and How to Marry an English Lord, and that really stereotyped the American heiress, that they were just exchanging cash for titles. And then you've got a couple scholarly works, in particular Gilded Prostitution, around that Dr. Montgomery does very well, saying, no, it wasn't just cash for titles. Some of them married because they wanted broader cultural aspirations, or some of them wanted the social status of it, but also some people wanted to marry somebody who was politically involved, because back then they were all in the House of Lords. And what I'm doing with Alberta is breaking all of those molds. And from what I've seen and really done my research, she will be the first American heiress with this large collection to prove that she didn't marry for any of the above. And it will be quite surprising to see and find out what the hesitant path that she took, which eventually involved her marrying your husband. It's very exciting.
Amazing.
I'm so excited.
So other things. Next week, I've got a meeting that I'm really looking forward to, which is with somebody who's coming to Mapperton to look at the prospects for what's called wild camping. Do you know about wild camping?
See, I'm just learning.
She's just
right
learning
now.
about it now.
Just now.
In
just
America,
like the rest of you.
In America, you've got lots of wild camping. So for the States, and probably for Australia as well, this may not be such a big deal. But here in the UK, there are very few national parks, and there are hardly any spaces where you as a camper can just take your tent and your sleeping bag and your family or your partner and just go and camp. And this is something people want to do. People are finding that their lives are so immersed, so drowned by technology and phones and screens, that they want to switch off and get back to nature. And one of the ways that you can do that, obviously, is just to head off and spend the night and leave nothing behind. And when I say nothing, I mean absolutely nothing. Because there are certain things that we all have to do from time to time, and that can't be left behind either.
Okay.
So
moving on.
So there is this there is this new opportunity for estates to provide coordinates.
Right.
What 3 words, and say that this is available for somebody to book online as a wild camping spot.
gosh.
And you say, here's another coordinate where you can park your car, and here's another coordinate where there's a lavatory.
What?
And we don't have to do anything. They just book online. They take a photo before they arrive, before they camp, so that you can see the before photo. And then once they've cleared up, they take another photo.
It's like a Lime bike.
And it's just, exactly, it's just sort of
It's like a Lime, but I don't know if you have it. So in all throughout London, it's renting basically.
But you're renting a space here, yeah. Isn't that a great idea?
Oh my God,
and the
that
good
is
thing
so
about
genius.
it for us is there's no impact at all, because the person sort of stealthily arrives, goes camping and goes off.
And do you do by an hourly rate or a day rate?
No, it's a night rate. It's very affordable, but it will really help, and it'll give really good access to all the wonderful wild spaces at Mapperton. So anyway, this is a whole new possible venture for Mapperton. You like that one, do you?
Didn't know anything about that. So that is.
And then we have on Friday. We can't say more about this.
No.
But we have a very young Hollywood producer director coming to look at Mapperton as a possible location. Now,
cross your fingers.
This is not for a big feature film, and we've had quite a few big feature films in the past.
We've had
Mapperton.
Emma with Gwyneth Paltrow. We've had Far From the Madding Crowd with Carey Mulligan. We had Rebecca with Lily James.
That was the last one. There was a big Netflix production, and that one we had something like 120 crew.
Crazy.
Here. I mean, they take over the whole thing. This is actually a short film for an up-and-coming Hollywood director-producer, but it's still a decent-sized production. He'll have something like 24 crew and so on, and he's written a short story and he wants to film it at Mapperton. So we're going to show him around.
Well, fingers crossed. I'm showing him around on Friday.
That would be fun. And then other things worth mentioning. Some of you may have seen the debut of our son William on Mapperton Live. If you missed that one, make sure you go back. William really enjoyed it. He was picking apples with me. We ended up throwing apples at each other.
And it was really exciting. He woke up, we dropped him off to his first sort of, well, he's left us. He's gone to university. We dropped him off, and the episode aired, and he woke up the next morning when we saw him and to say goodbye to him. And he said, it's doing really well. The video is doing really well.
Really pleased.
He was so pleased.
Because it was the top video of our recent videos on YouTube. So he's really happy. Now, there's two other children, of course, that haven't yet made an appearance. But so far, we've got two out of 4.
So we might have 2 coming on. You never know.
You never know. It takes a bit of persuading.
It does take, but he was really pleased with that. So that's very exciting. I think. Oh, I was going to go.
You go.
Well, I was just going to go more estate bound. What's happening now on the estate is because our last day we've closed. It's the end. It's over. We're done. Bye-bye.
Well, don't sound so relieved. It feels rather quiet, actually. And I'm rather sad because people visiting are part of what gives the place energy and life. And there's no one in the car park today, which is very unusual. Now, this is the first time that we've closed for October. Usually we are open in October. But what we've established is that the most recent Octobers, we've just lost money opening, which we can't afford to do.
No.
So this year, for the first time, we've closed. Next year, maybe we'll come up with a way to open. But of course, when you open, you've got to have the cafe. You've got to have somebody on standby for health and safety. You've got to have people welcoming visitors. So you've got all these costs. And because of the terrible British weather, and indeed October so far is looking like
it's been awful.
The same. This is a place people want to come when the weather's nice, and if the weather's not nice, people don't come.
And also the days will start to get shorter as well, because in October you hit daylight savings. So that's always an idea. Next year we could go right up to daylight savings. So
that's true. I think this year it's at the end of the month, and also we don't have any Halloween.
No.
Yeah, which is again sad, but it's so weather dependent, and the weather is so hit and miss.
It is weather dependent, and I think we've tried Halloween in the past, and it also falls over the school holidays. So in this country, you get kind of 3 big holidays. We don't have semesters here, we have terms. So you get 3 kind of weeks in the middle of the term, and so that's October, and it always falls over Halloween. And we have to remember that Halloween in this country 20 years ago was not a big deal. And in fact, when we were in London and I was taking the children trick-or-treating, we used to be sent as the American mom, where to go, what neighborhood within London had like a lot of Americans in, you know, in a quite densely put together. And that's where I would go, and I would have almost like the addresses of where to go trick-or-treating. Now, Halloween has gotten much bigger, but we have tried it, and I feel that our strength is actually our Christmas market, which actually falls in November.
So that
has grown leaps and bounds.
That is the next big thing. It is one of Julie's many, many contributions to Mapperton, along with Holly and the rest of the team.
Yeah.
But this year, bigger, bolder.
Bigger and better. And it's, you know, and I've got to give, you know, Holly, you've seen her in some of our videos. She's our events and weddings manager, and she's just done an outstanding job in just being incredibly organized and making sure, because we've got over 100 stall holders this year.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping the number we would like to get would be over 2,000 people visiting.
2,000 people, right.
We
will hold you that. And we just pray that there isn't heavy rainfall, because if there is, the field will become a mud bath.
Yeah.
But so far, we've been lucky on that. Anyway, I think we may have spilt all the tea. Anything else you haven't told me about your life recently?
No, did you know that something about, well, really quickly, the National Archives. So National Archives are the big, we've won the award, the ARA Archive Volunteering Award. And again, I know we're being quite elusive in this spill the tea, but for the Alberta Research Project and the transcribers, something else has happened in the year 2024, a big recognition.
But you can't talk about it.
But I can't talk about it, but we will be filming it
such a tease.
with the National Archives. So I just want to say thank you to all my transcribers. They know my transcribers out there.
You can't say there's something big and I can't tell you what it is.
We will.
Or maybe you can.
We will be.
Right, with that, before Julie teases something else that she can't reveal and frustrates all our viewers, we better say goodbye.
But we will be filming it all. The reveal will come soon. So anyway, we just want to say a huge thank you again, just really quickly, to all of you who subscribe to our channel and who come back week in and week out watching it. The one thing I do want to mention before we sign off is what we try to put out on a Wednesday, everybody, is either a spill the tea every other week, there we go, or a compilation of past videos. And especially for new subscribers, it's hard to look back through the library. So Chris, our amazing editor, puts together these compilations of past videos. So on Wednesdays, it'll be either Spill the Tea or these compilations, and then of course, new episodes every Saturday. And we just want to say a huge thank you to all of our subscribers, to our patrons, to those of you who have donated through the GoFundMe and through Spill the Tea. Or no, called Buy Me a Coffee. This is Spill the Tea. All right, we're done.